This is the World Financial Report on Radio with Harold Siegel. My name is Randy Marshall. Joining us via the telephone, our financial and diamond expert, Harold Siegel. We're taping our show on July the 2nd, 2015, the day after Canada Day. Hopefully everyone had a good Canada Day, and 4th of July coming up on Saturday. Our show runs on 6:30 CHED, Sunday afternoon at 3. Hopefully everyone is having a nice weekend. Don't forget, if you ever miss a radio show, you can catch them. They're archived, streaming live on Harold's two websites, HESradio.com, rarecoloreddiamonds.com. We have a podcast through iTunes. Type in The World Financial Report on Radio. You'll find us there. We're portable. We go anywhere you do on your portable device. Harold's websites, rarecoloreddiamonds.com, rarecoloreddiamonds.com. Connect with Harold about investing in hard assets. 1-800-432-1022, 1-800-432-1022, and ask about getting our free weekly newsletter. We'll be happy to send it out to you free of charge by email every week. You'll be on the same page, reading the same material that Harold and I are on a weekly basis, and be able to see the stories that we're talking about. As we tape today's show on a Thursday morning, U.S. jobs numbers out, and not as good as anticipated. They gained 223,000 jobs. Last month was revised down from 280 to 250. The labor force participation rate lowest since 1977. 94 million people not in the labor force. And you think about it, here in Canada, what's our population? About 35, 40 million, somewhere in there. You're looking at almost 3 times our population unemployed, not looking for a job in the United States. It's really stunning. One of the things that I'm very proud of our radio show is that we've never stopped talking about Greece and the ramifications of what could happen in the financial markets due to a default. I remember originally when they did the first package for Greece, we said, this is not the end. And it wasn't. In fact, just a week ago, we were told, oh, it's a done deal. 48 hours, everything will be signed. Greece defaulted this week. We're taping the show on a Thursday. They will be voting on Sunday. Their leaders are saying, vote no. Don't go with the package that the IMF wants everyone to sign, although yes is leading in the polls. And now if yes wins, obviously the political party in power more than likely will have to bow out. But we'll have to wait and see how it plays out. Will Greece stay in the Eurozone? We'll find out in the days ahead. Also, Puerto Rico. We mentioned this about a month ago on our show. Not many people talking about it, but Puerto Rico bankrupt. They owe $72 billion. It's amazing to me who would have allowed that to happen, that they would have been in a position to borrow that kind of money when full well they would have known that they could have never paid it back. Now, the other concern is Illinois. Illinois may be technically bankrupt as well due to all the pension money that they owe. So some serious situations in the United States. Sweden cut interest rates from negative 0.25% to negative 0.35%. You heard right, more negative interest rates. Chinese stock market continues to plunge, down 3.5% overnight. The index down 24% in 3 weeks. 2.4 trillion of market cap gone. Also this week, and we'll talk about it later in the show, the Argyle Pink Diamond tender came out, and some stunning diamonds were released to the world. Harold, some amazing diamonds in the Pink Diamond tender.
Boy, were they ever. Absolutely stunning. Some reds, some vivid pinks, some really, really gorgeous diamonds. And when you see the report, you'll understand why Argyle Pinks are the most sought-after asset on earth, and we can't wait to see what happens with the tender. The last few have been just sold out so quickly at extremely high prices. we're very excited about the tender and what's happening with the Argyle mine, and we anticipate that will be one of the best investments our clients have ever made. But all in all, it's a slow week this week due to the fact that 4th of July comes out on Saturday, so the markets are closed on Friday. So basically Thursday, as we're trading right now, the markets are fairly lightly traded. A lot of the traders are gone. However, gold has been down almost every day this week. And that's a little shocking because I believe people thought the gold would go up with the Greek crisis, but that's not nearly the case because with the Greek crisis, what's going to happen is that the euro is going to drop, which it did, which strengthens the U.S. dollar, which it did, which is why gold is down and the dollar is up. We know there's a direct correlation between the gold market and the U.S. dollar. And because we anticipate that the U.S. dollar is going to remain strong, especially with what Randy just said, a lot of these European countries are cutting their interest rates below negative. So where's that going to go to? And when is that coming to North America? It's got to, because again, you can't drop your interest rates any lower per se than zero, but they're certainly doing that now, and that's where the U.S. interest rates are right now at zero. So we do anticipate that a similar situation will happen here. We do not believe that the Fed is going to raise interest rates here in the United States. That would strengthen the dollar even further against a very weak foreign currency markets. So as we're taping the show here on Thursday, gold has come down to $11.65. Actually, it hit $11.55.60 this morning, so it was down about $15 at the opening. It was just the bad unemployment numbers that supported the gold market a little bit stronger. However, the support level for gold's at $11.55. How ironic is it that the low in the market today was $11.55, which again, why these support and resistance levels are so important if you're going to trade or if you want to know what's really going to happen short term in the commodity market. And support and resistance levels work, for basically every commodity. However, on gold, that's the one that we're most concerned about at this point. We did come down to $11.55, which is where major support is. If we get two closes below $11.55, then ultimately the market could come down to $11.40, $11.25, and then $11.00, which is very strong support for the U.S. dollar. Very similar in silver. Support for silver is at $15.43, and we hit $15.42 this morning. So basically right now we're trading at $15.75. We're trading in a range, but as you know, if you're a regular listener to the show, where I am long-term and intermediate-term bullish on gold and silver, I do see that the market is going to continue to pull back, especially with what's happening with the dollar and the currency markets at this point. So again, over the summer when the markets are generally lightly traded, we do think the gold will approach that $1,100 level. $1,100 is production cost level for gold in most cases. So if $1,100 is breached and that market falls, watch for a lot of the major mines to close down temporarily until the price gets higher. And because they will shut down, that will mean that there will be less gold and silver on the market. By the way, silver in the $15.75 region is below production cost level already. So silver actually has been a little bit stronger than gold this week. Silver's up 10 cents. However, I do see if this market does wash out, because of the massive short position of 200 million ounces of silver that J.P. Morgan is shorting in the market, I anticipate that silver could come down to $12.50 and gold could come to $1,000. At those levels, we would be massive buyers of both gold and silver. Now, you've also got platinum selling off at $1,087, so it's actually lower than the price of gold. However, palladium is a market that you may want to watch. Palladium, they haven't been mining as much, and still palladium and platinum are used in catalytic converters, but don't forget palladium is still $400 below platinum. I believe palladium could be a strong buy moving forward. On top of that, we've got the oil market moving lower. A lot of that is to do with Greece because, let's face it, they're in a horrible recession at this particular point, but so is most of Europe. And what's happening with Greece, we had a 350-point drop on the day that Greece announced, that was Monday, that they couldn't repay the loan. So the Dow dropped 350 points, but that was basically it. See, Greece is not a big enough situation at this point here to affect the U.S. markets in any way. We had the initial, mediocre shock. We knew it was going to happen. The Dow dropped 350, but it's now, last couple of days it's up a bit, nothing, major type of thing. But I don't think that Greece at this point here is going to affect the U.S. markets in any tremendous way. What is going to affect the U.S. markets and other markets moving forward is the domino effect that's going to happen in Europe because of the Greek debacle. It means that Italy is in just as bad a shape, so is Portugal and Spain. So basically, now that Greece is going to renege on a bunch of the loans, and I'm sure a lot of them are to the similar banks that Italy and Spain and Greece and everybody is dealing with, it is going to cause a domino effect that is going to affect the markets worldwide. And this is going to happen fairly quickly. During the summertime, the thing that really shocks me, if there's ever a time in my business where business is slow, which is generally during the summer, we don't take vacations. I may be in Colorado for 4 months, but the major reason is that because of the hurricane season in Florida. Aside from that, I start work at 6:30 every day, and I work my normal 8 to 10 hour day. So the fact is that no matter what business is doing, with a tough economy here in the United States and Canada and worldwide, we don't take vacations here. But they take 2-month vacations in Europe. They take 2-month vacations in Greece, where their whole economy is plummeting, but they still take a 2-month vacation. To me, that makes absolutely no sense. When the going get tough, the tough get going, and by all means, I know in my businesses, when things are slowing down, we don't take vacations. We work twice as hard, and that's what a lesson that maybe they should be learning in Europe, because Italy, Spain, Portugal, Greece, all these countries are in huge financial trouble, and they're going to affect the slightly stronger ones like Germany. But all of these European countries can come down from this debacle. Do I believe that the euro is actually going to be extinct? Yes, I do. I don't believe that the euro is going to survive this when other countries start to come off of the euro. So what we believe is going to happen is that these countries are going to have to go back on their old currency. In the case of Greece, it's going to be the drachma. So just figure this, that right now, even with all the negativity in the market and all that, the euro is still trading at around 110, 111 in that area. So at 110 or 111, when the Greek people go off of the euro, they go back to the drachma, which is worth about a quarter to a third of what the euro is worth. That means when they convert their money, all of a sudden, they've lost almost 3/4 of their net worth. It's an unbelievable situation. On top of that, the banks in Greece have been closed for 6 days. You're able to take out about 60 euros, and the fact is there's no money in these ATMs. In fact, people that go to Greece on vacation can't get any money. So the situation in Greece is extreme. It's not big enough to affect the Dow Jones here in the United States, but Italy and Spain and Portugal and everybody else all combined together certainly is. Then add that to the fact that, again, a lot of the banks deal with each other, and you're going to see massive problems in the banking systems again. So, again, what we anticipate is going to happen is over the summertime, things are going to start to dwindle. You're going to start to see things get worse and worse in Europe. You're going to start to see things happening here in the United States and Canada, where both economies are suspect at this point. We know things are a little bit tough in Alberta. We know that the real estate levels are high and got to come down all over Canada. We know that the oil market is suspect. It's down to 57.60. So things are not great. And again, as Randy pointed out at the beginning of the show, 3 times the population of Canada is out of work in the United States. How does that reflect a strong economy and a strong U.S. stock market? So again, be prepared for what's going to happen in these markets. It's going to be extreme, but we're ready for it. We know it's going to happen. I've been in this business and traded these markets for 35 years. I believe that the markets are going to come down during the summer. We're going to get phenomenal buying opportunities in gold and silver. There's other opportunities in the markets, alternative assets like diamonds, cars, art, those type of things. They're skyrocketing. Only look what's happening at auction lately, and you'll see that the markets that we're recommending to you are the markets you need to be in. The fact is that if the good people of Greece had some of their money in diamonds, they would not have been having the problems that they're having at this particular time. All you would have to do is take your diamonds, go to another country and liquidate them in another currency. You wouldn't be having to stand there in front of the bank and wait for it to open 6 days later so you could possibly see if they're going to give you any of your money back. If you have all your money in cash, in paper, in stocks, in bonds, you're going to get killed in these markets. Please, if you don't understand how they work and what the repercussions are going to be, from everything moving forward, give me a call. I will sit down and talk to you. It doesn't matter how much money you have. If you're a listener to my radio show, I'm here to help you. And what's coming forward is extreme. And I want to help you understand what you need to do in order to get through these difficult times and prosper. Don't forget, in the markets, for every winner there's a loser. For every seller there's a buyer. We want to make certain that our clients that listen to this show are winning when they're in the marketplace, and we're positive that we're on the right track to success. Randy, that's the way I see the markets at this particular point.
Connect with Harold at rarecoloreddiamonds.com. rarecoloreddiamonds.com. Speak with Harold personally and privately. He'll be happy to talk to you anytime. 1-800-432-1022. 1-800-432-1022. Our featured diamond of the week, and this is an absolutely stunning diamond. We'll talk about the pink argyle tender a little later in the show. This week's diamond is an extremely rare, one-of-a-kind necklace set with fancy pink argyles and a 1+ carat pear-cut, fancy intense green diamond. Go to rarecoloreddiamonds.com, click on Featured Diamond of the Week. You will see this stunning, extremely rare museum piece necklace. It is absolutely amazing. rarecoloreddiamonds.com. Call 1-800-432-1022. And Harold, this is just a stunning piece.
Well, thank you, Randy. It's a one of a kind. First of all, green diamonds are so ridiculously rare. You need uranium in order to seep into the ground in order to turn a diamond green. But green diamonds are different than any other diamond. In fact, when a green diamond comes out of the ground, it actually is black. There's a skin over it that has to be peeled off, believe it or not. For years and years, the cutters that didn't know the difference between a black and a green diamond thought these diamonds were black. And black diamonds are very inexpensive, not investment quality diamonds that sell for maybe a couple $1,000s a carat. Once they realized that these diamonds were actually green and $200,000 to $300,000 a carat to as high as a couple million a carat, then they understood what they had to do with these diamonds. These are the only diamonds that when one is pulled out of the ground as a rough diamond, it has to be taken to GIA, Gemological Institute of America, New York, to be graded as a rough before. Otherwise, the GIA will come back with an undetermined grading on that diamond, which could make it basically worthless. So again, we're probably one of the largest dealers of green diamonds. They're ridiculously rare. Very seldom will you ever see anybody in this world that owns a green diamond. I happen to own several and put away in my private collection. So some lucky buyer could get an opportunity to not only get an intense green diamond, which is beyond rare, but it's also in a magnificent jewelry piece, and it's surrounded by pink diamonds, pink argyles actually, millies, which are impossible to get. Do you know the millies went from $800 to $10,000 a carat in 1 year, and now you can't even get them? It's ridiculous how much these pink diamonds are going up in value. So again, we're going to talk about that on the second half of the show, but diamonds are on fire. And again, if the good people of Greece had owned diamonds, they would not be having the problems they're having right now.
Featured Diamond of the Week. Talk to Harold, connect with him, and this is a must-have investment diamond. 1-800-432-1022. Go to rarecoloreddiamonds.com. The next Greece may be in the United States. When Chicago Public Schools announced on June 24th that it would borrow $1 billion to make a $600 million plus pension payment due June 30th, an eerie feeling spread across bond investors and taxpayers alike. It was the same feeling that gripped investors when Moody's Investor Services downgraded Chicago's credit rating to junk, based almost entirely on the city's pension problems. The fear was then elevated, and that's due to pension costs in cities like Chicago, that might push these public entities into insolvency, wiping out much of the holdings of municipal bond investors. We talked earlier in the show about Puerto Rico being bankrupt, owing $72 billion, asking the United States to let them go bankrupt. we know that Illinois has some serious problems. In some places like Puerto Rico, Illinois, New Jersey, and Chicago, entire balance sheets of cities or states hang in the balance. Detroit, as well as 3 California cities, Vallejo, Stockton, and San Bernardino, had to declare bankruptcy because of their overwhelming pension costs. In most cases, it ends up in the courtroom. In fact, in the bankruptcy cases of Detroit, Vallejo, Stockton, and San Bernardino, bondholders have faced losses up to 99% of their holdings, according to Moody's in a report dated May 18. Meanwhile, all 3 California cities chose to preserve full pensions for their employees. Well, Detroit, they asked their employees to take a cut of 18%. Harold, we have about 2 minutes left in our segment here, but it just goes to show Puerto Rico is bankrupt. We know Greece has defaulted. Will they leave the Eurozone? We're not too sure. We'll have to wait and see and find out today with the referendum where they go from here. But the United States, in a lot of ways, with some of the states, particularly Illinois in the position that it's in, are not that far off of Greece. And I think people need to understand that and have an allocation of hard assets in their portfolio to protect themselves.
You're right, Randy. Again, you really have to dig for the information nowadays because, again, it certainly isn't readily available. We know that the government is continuously changing and revising numbers that they came out with the week before. So, again, it's extremely difficult to really trade on those type of information. That's why the newsletter is so important. We get you the information you need to make an intelligent decision. But there's no doubt that the United States is in huge financial trouble. It's just doing better than most other countries or has printed enough money in order for them to stay afloat and look like a stronger economy. But there's no doubt there's major dangers here. The derivatives market is one of the most frightening things that we could ever look at, and that's something we're going to have to deal with going into the latter part of this year, derivatives, especially with Greek falling apart.
Our featured diamond of the week. This is a museum piece, an outstanding investment idea. It is an extremely rare, one-of-a-kind necklace set with fancy pink argyles and a 1+ carat pear-cut fancy intense diamond, and this is a green diamond, absolutely stunning. It is a museum piece. See it at rarecoloreddiamonds.com. Speak with Harold personally and privately about investing in this diamond at 1-800-432-1022, 1-800-432-1022. Going to come back and talk about the 2015 Argyle Pink Diamond Tender as the World Financial Report on Radio with Harold Siegel and me, Randy Marshall, continues right after this. Welcome back to the World Financial Report on Radio with Harold Siegel. My name is Randy Marshall. Joining us via the telephone, our financial and diamond expert, Harold Siegel. We're taping our show on July the 2nd to Thursday, 2015. Of course, happy Canada Day to those that celebrated on Wednesday, and happy 4th of July to those that celebrated on Saturday in the United States. If you ever miss a radio show, don't forget, our shows are archived on Harold's 2 websites, HESradio.com, rarecoloreddiamonds.com. Connect with Harold at rarecoloreddiamonds.com. You can call him at 1-800-432-1022. Don't forget, we have a podcast that goes along with our radio show. It's through iTunes. Type in The World Financial Report on Radio. We're portable. We go anywhere you do. Harold has an auction site as well, hsfineauctions.com. Our featured diamond of the week is an extremely rare, one-of-a-kind necklace set with a fancy pink Argyle diamond, fancy pink argyles, and a 1+ carat pear-cut fancy intense green diamond. This is a stunning museum piece. You can see it at rarecoloreddiamonds.com. Featured diamond of the week. See the video there. You can see a picture of it in our newsletter. Speak with Harold about investing in this diamond and ask about getting your name on the list for our free weekly newsletter. Call Harold at 1-800-432-1022. One of the big stories this week, the 2015 Argyle Pink Diamond Tender. The annual Pink Tender has been launched with an exclusive showing at the Sydney Opera House. The tender, known as the Connoisseur's Collection, made up of 65 diamonds, weighing a total of 44.14 carats, including 4 fancy red diamonds, which can attract bids of more than $1 million per carat. Harold, these diamonds are the rarest of the rare, and we've talked about this before. The next 4 or 5 years, that mine will be shut down. 90 to 95% of the world's pinks will be gone. This tender gives people an opportunity to invest in a pink diamond. And when you think about it, 65 diamonds for the entire world, that is the rarest of the rare.
You better believe it, Randy. It's unbelievable. You got to get the article. Everybody's got to read and see these diamonds. It's unreal. But let me just read you a little part of it. Imagine after a year of toil, all your work fitted in the palm of your hand. That's a reality for Argyle Diamond Mine Manager Josephine Johnson. Johnson is in charge of all the pink diamonds dug out of the Western Australia Kimberley region and is currently running the 2015 tender to sell the gems. Pink diamonds make up 0.1% of all the diamonds mined at Argyle, and while Johnson doesn't get free samples, she does have a job which involves being surrounded by some of the prettiest stones in the world. It sure beats hanging around a dusty iron ore site all day. It's really unbelievable, because what they're saying is that last year 3,000 carats of polished pink diamonds were extracted, but that includes stones the size of a grain of sand. And some of the lighter shades of pink, about 90% of the world's pink diamonds, come from Argyle. The diamonds fetch around 75 times the value of the white version, around $1 million a carat. Hot pink is worth more than paler colors. Demand far exceeds supply, and the prices have soared in the past 15 years as the popularity of pink diamonds has grown through clever marketing. It goes on and on to talk about it, but it talks about her favorite, which is the Argyle Shalimar, which is a 1.25 carat round brilliant, fancy intense pink diamond, and the Ocean Seer, which is a 112 carat octagon shaped fancy deep gray violet diamond. It's absolutely amazing, the diamonds that come out of this mine. And the fact is that we've been offering these diamonds to our clients for the last decade. Nobody even knew of Argyle's diamonds as far as an investment quality diamond until we brought it to the forefront. On top of that, we built the auction site that is going to resell all of these diamonds when they're ready to sell. But the fact is that they worked the entire year to get 65 diamonds for the tender. That's how rare these diamonds are. That's why they're called the most concentrated form of wealth on earth. And the fact is that the Argyle mine, which is probably one of the most famous mines in the world, was discovered back in 1986 in the East Kimberley district of Western Australia. And the fact is it produces about 30 million carats of diamonds a year, most of those diamonds being low-quality industrial diamonds which are used to cut other diamonds. But the phenomenon of the Argyle mine is these amazing pink diamonds. They could fill basically a champagne glass. That's how few diamonds come out of this mine. So when you hear about a mine like Argyle and they produce 90 to 95% of all the pink diamonds in the world, don't think that that's a lot. It's a minuscule number. The fact is that the whole year's production can fit in the palm of your hand. But as I mentioned before, this is the most concentrated form of wealth on earth. They can be 75 times the price of a white diamond. And we've got a very, very rare opportunity because this mine is about to close. It's been in operation since 1986, and by 2020, Rio Tinto, the owner of this mine, is going to shut it down. That means that 95% of all the pink diamonds in the world will be gone. What do you think is going to happen if you happen to own one or more of these treasures? The fact is that the prices are going up substantially. They normally go up by 15 to 20% a year, but now we're only 4.5 years away from the mine closing down. Some of these diamonds will go up 1,000% in the next 5 years. Some of them will go up 300, 400, 500%. You can get involved in Argyle diamonds starting in about the 30 to 50,000 range. The fact is that they're not for everybody because not everybody has 30 to 50,000 to start a portfolio investing in Argyle pink diamonds. But the fact is that a $50,000 diamond today in 10 years from now could be worth, $400,000 or $500,000. because there's no more of these treasures around. The other thing that you should know, that it's really my firm that specializes in the investment aspect of the business. Most people that have bought Argyles have bought them from jewelers. They don't know that they're investment quality diamonds. They just know they're beautiful pink diamonds in a ring or in a necklace or earrings. So the fact is they get handed down from generation to generation to generation, and then the price of those diamonds take on the life of their own. 50 years ago, you could have bought a 5-carat pink diamond for $50,000. Today, that same diamond is $5 million. Obviously, you know, my clients that put these diamonds away for their retirement or for their future, a lot of my clients don't need the money. So what they do is they put them in their will, in their portfolio, and then they hand them down to their kids and grandkids. And before you know it, a diamond that you paid $50,000 for, your kids or grandkids are selling for 1,000% more than what you paid for it. That's the beauty of owning an asset that cannot be duplicated again. The Argyle mine, they're never going to find another Argyle mine. They've been looking. There is nothing even close to coming online that produces any type of pink diamonds at all. Then on top of that, the fact is that if they did ever find another mine, it takes at least 10 years for that mine to come back online. So I'm very, very confident that those of us that own pink diamonds will have a tremendous run-up in price, and we will be able to sell these diamonds at a huge return. And that's why I built H. Siegel Fine Auctions as the only secondary market in the world today that is available to resell my clients' diamonds. So again, we're talking a lot about pinks right now because the very famous Argyle Pink Diamond Tender is going on. However, there are other investment quality diamonds that are affordable that in the next 10 to 20 years will be substantially higher in price than they are right now. And one of the classifications I'm talking about is yellow flawlesses. Yellow flawless diamonds are tremendously in demand and very, very small quantities. Again, there's a lot of yellow diamonds around, but they're flawed. You only want to own a flawless yellow diamond. They start at about $20,000. They go up by about 15% a year. They never decline in value because there's so few of them, and they're portable private wealth. Again, the best example I can give you would be the people of Greece. If they had a yellow flawless diamond today worth about $20,000, no matter what the situation is, they cross the border, you own it, you own the rights to it, you've got your bill of receipt, you go to another country. You go to England to sell it. And if you got 20,000 back in British pounds, you've done tremendously well. If you got 15,000 back in British pounds, you freed up a tremendous amount of money where you can't do that in stocks, you can't do that in any other market that you can in diamonds. Diamonds are about the only investment class asset that could be sold in another asset aside from in another currency except for maybe art. So again, it's a very, very unique asset. And with things the way they are in the world today, it's one of the most important things you could ever own. With my grandchildren, I could put stocks in their portfolio. I never would. I'm not a believer in them. I think they're manipulated and are going to plummet again very soon. And why would I want to put my grandchildren, who I love more than anything in the world, in a situation like that? I put diamonds away for them. They're young. They're 12, 8, 3, and 1, and by the time they get to 28 and are ready to make their way in the world, they've got an asset that is worth a lot of money, something that we could sell for them that will give them a tremendous start in this world, not a stock that could be worth zero. So again, I'm a firm believer in hard alternative assets. That's where most of my money is invested. I have nothing in stocks, nothing in bonds, and nothing in a retirement savings plan. Everything I have is put in hard assets: gold, silver, diamonds, cars, art. That's where all my money is at this point, and will be there for a long, long time, because there's no way in the world that with 96, almost 100 million U.S. workers not in the workforce, that things are going to get better here in the United States. So again, as Europe starts to unravel, we just are starting to see it with Greece. Italy is next, Spain and Portugal. That's going to start to affect the markets. The derivative markets are going to come unglued. They're in the quadrillions of dollars. They're leveraged up the kazoo. That means that we're going to see financial markets similar to 2008, and And again, if you don't remember what that was, read up on it because it was disastrous for most people. We want to be conservative. We want to be safe. We want to have our money in assets that are going to hold their value and then eventually make us a lot of money, and that's the diamond market and the gold market. So again, get the newsletter this week. Go to rarecoloreddiamonds.com. That's my company, rarecoloreddiamonds.com. Go to the loose diamond section. Look up pink diamonds and look at our inventory of amazing Argyle pinks. The fancy vivids are the most expensive. The fancy lights are still investment quality, and they're the least expensive. Another thing is, I've traded commodities for decades. I also know that one classification gets very expensive, investors try to buy the next classification. For example, when soybeans get too expensive to buy because of a drought, investors go to the soybean meal and soybean oil because they're lesser in price, and then they start to move up. It's the same situation in diamonds and every other commodity. When the vivids are going up by 50% a year or 50% in 2 years, people start looking at the intenses and the fancies because they're at a bargain rate, and that's what we feel the market is right now. We know this market is going to increase substantially. In fact, with year 1 and year 2 left in the marketplace, these prices are going to go ballistic. We want you in before that because we want you to make the major return on your invested dollar. The other thing is the green diamond that is the featured diamond this week. I consider that one of the rarest diamonds on earth today. Green diamonds are so rare, you need uranium to turn them green. There's actual radiation. They're actually that type of diamond. There's a black film on it while it comes out of the ground as a rough diamond. That's got to be peeled off. And then once that's done, it's taken to GIA. They will actually start the grading process based on the rough diamond. Then they want to see it as it's gone through different cutting stages. Otherwise, they're going to come back with a classification of undeterminable, and that could make a $2 million diamond worth basically nothing. That's why it's so important to understand the diamond market. We've been in the diamond business for a long time. Because of the enthusiasm and excitement of the market and what we've done with the business, there's been other companies that have opened up. They've been in business a year, 2 years, 3 years, know very, very little about the diamond market. All they know is that diamonds are a good investment and they're going to try to sell it to their clients. The problem is there's no exit strategy. If diamonds is a great investment, which it is, there's got to be a way to resell them. That's one thing you need to ask the person that you're buying. How is my diamond going to be resold? If they say they're going to resell it to their clients, that's not going to happen. The bottom line is you need clients from out of North America in different parts of the world where their currency is stronger than ours in order for them to be able to afford these much more expensive diamonds. And that's what we bring to the table. We have H. Siegel Fine Auctions, the only live virtual auction site of its kind in the world today. We have clients all over the world that will attend our auctions. During the summertime, we take a break. We will start our auctions up again in October, and it's going to be one of the most thrilling years for auctions because we're going to go different routes. We're not only going to go diamonds, we're going to bring Ferraris and other cars and amazing auctions to you. So it's going to be a very, very exciting year moving forward. We anticipate that the overall paper asset markets are going to be disastrous this year. We think the people that are staying in the stock and bond markets are going to get annihilated in the markets this year. Get out of them. Take some of that money that's at risk, put it to work in a diamond that's going to make you a lot of money, but probably more important, save all of your money because these diamonds never, ever go down in value.
Featured Diamond of the Week from rarecoloreddiamonds.com is an extremely rare, one-of-a-kind necklace set with fancy pink argyles and a 1+ carat pear-cut fancy intense green diamond. See this diamond in our newsletter. We have a picture of it. Even better, there's video. Go to rarecoloreddiamonds.com, click on Featured Diamond of the Week, and you will see this museum piece. If you're interested in investing in this diamond, speak with Harold personally and privately. All conversations 100% confidential. 1-800-432-1022. 1-800-432-1022. And as Harold was saying, get our free weekly newsletter because we have some outstanding stories this week about the Argyle Pink Tender. As well, the Huffington Post came out with an interesting article. Obviously, we wouldn't encourage people to invest in diamonds through Tiffany's because you'd be paying retail, not wholesale. But they have an interesting article. Fascinating facts about diamonds straight from Tiffany & Company's chief gemologist, and his name is Melvin Kirtley. He has been with Tiffany's for 30 years. And he was asked a question, why are colored diamonds so darn expensive? And he said, they are so incredibly rare. Colored diamonds are even rarer than colorless diamonds. And when you get into colors like pink or very intense shades of pink or green or blue or even red, which is very, very rare, the amount that is available in the world is next to nothing. There are more Picassos in the world than there are colored diamonds. The rarity is enormous, so the value is incredible. And he was asked, what is the most sought-after color? Pink, vivid pink. Colored diamonds are a very interesting world because there are nuances of color. You've got the body of the color, and then you've also got secondary colors that work together, so you can have a bluish-green diamond or a greenish-blue. There's a whole color wheel, and they can come in all the colors of the rainbow. He was asked about the greatest diamond he ever saw, and it was a diamond the color of the Tiffany blue. We called it the Tiffany Anniversary Blue. It was a 2.5 carat oval cut. You could see the diamond from a mile away. It was the most special and rare diamond we've ever had. It was the color of the bluest sea you will ever look at in your life. That was purchased for someone's wife. She wears it on a daily basis. But Harold, it is interesting to hear from Melvin Kirtley, 30 years in the diamond business with Tiffany's, and we're dealing with, and this really caught my attention, there are more Picassos in the world than there are colored diamonds. The rarity, he says, is enormous, and we've known that for 10 years.
You bet, Randy. And again, it's a dwindling classification of assets. So with no new mines opening up, and once the Argyle mine closes, again, anybody who understands supply and demand for these are extremely high. Supplies are at the lowest they've ever been. The other thing about the Argyle mine, how we know that it's coming to an end, is because the color brown is seeping into the mine. Brown is not notoriously an investment quality diamond. So the fact that these diamonds are now, instead of being, vivid pink or vivid purplish pink or orangey pink, the really high up colors, they're now becoming as brownish pinks. And again, it's just not the same vibrant, beautiful diamond. Some people are out there trying to sell champagne-colored diamonds as investments. All they are is a combination of brown and yellow. It's not investment quality. You want to stick with the best. And again, where some of these diamonds will sell for millions and millions of dollars, some of you may be saying, well, what could $50,000 do in the market? $50,000 can get you the type of asset that could do better for you than any investment that you've made. Because regardless of the fact, yellow diamonds go up by 15 to 20% a year, whether they're a 1 carat yellow flawless or whether it's a 5 carat yellow. So the fact is that it's still going to go up. It's just whatever amount you're comfortable investing. If you invest $50,000 into a diamond and you're picking up, 15% a year, you're picking up $7,500 a year on a $50,000 investment. To me, that's a fantastic return on your invested dollars. So it's conservative. They never lose their value. And as far as the pink diamonds go, there's not going to be any more. The prices are going to be the biggest price explosion we have ever seen. And the fact is, if you're not involved in this, this is something that you will remember for the rest of your life. We've been talking about this for 10 years now, and the prices have done nothing but go up. But now we're in the final last legs of this run. We're in the final last legs. We got less than 5 years left, and this is one of the best investments you'll ever make, and it's a safe investment. These prices don't go down in value.
RareColoredDiamonds.com. Speak personally and privately with Harold about investing in diamonds, gold, and silver. 1-800-432-1022. 1-800-432-1022. And remember, all conversations 100% confidential. Your conversation with Harold is private. He'll be happy to talk to you about anything financially in the world today, any questions that you have. Our featured diamond of the week It's an extremely rare museum piece, one-of-a-kind necklace set with fancy pink argyles and a 1+ carat pear-cut fancy intense green diamond. This diamond is absolutely stunning. Take a look at it at rarecoloreddiamonds.com. Click on Featured Diamond of the Week. We have about 4 minutes left in our show, and if you really take a look at what's happening in the world today, not good job numbers coming out of the United States. The labor participation rate, the lowest since 1977. They have 94 million people not in the labor force. We have Greece voting, and we're taping the show on Thursday. They'll be voting on Sunday. Their leaders are voting and saying, no, don't buy into the plan the IMF is giving us. Vote against it. And so far, yes, in the polls, has been leading. But Greece has defaulted. As Harold was saying, if they go back to the drachma, they will lose 30 to 40% of their money. We know Puerto Rico is bankrupt. They owe $72 billion. I personally believe Illinois is bankrupt. You can read about it, that story in our newsletter. We touched on it earlier. Also, Sweden cut their interest rates from negative 0.25% to negative 0.35%. And Harold, something that I think probably is even a bigger concern, what's happening in China with the stock market? A famous hedge fund manager, Mark Andreessen, came out this week and said that it's amazing to him to see communist China manipulating their stock market to keep it up. And stocks continue to plunge. Their stock market just basically was parabolic. It was a frenzy. It was a madness. It was down 3.5% overnight. The index down 24% in 3 weeks. $2.4 trillion of market cap, absolutely gone. What you have is not capital markets, but what you have is, let's face it, manipulation. It's a Ponzi scheme on some level. No wonder why, Harold, we are saying, and we have about a minute left here, no wonder why we're saying invest in hard assets, gold, silver, diamonds, because we believe even North American stock markets are manipulated, as we're seeing in China.
You bet, Randy. This is scary what's happening in China, to think that their market plummeted like that so quickly. But again, we knew a lot of it was based on nothing. And the fact that they're communists, they give very little information as to what's really happening. So it's an unbelievable thing that it dropped that much. But we know that they've got all these ghost cities in China. We know they've made massive mistakes. So again, if China's in trouble, the United States is going to be in trouble. Everybody's going to be in trouble. Get your money out of the stock markets right now. You're going to lose all your money, and it's going to take you forever to make it back. Get some of it into hard assets. Physical gold, when gold gets to around 1,000 to 1,100, we'll sell it to you at spot, and then on top of that, diamonds are skyrocketing. These are assets that do not decline in value. Let's get into this market right now while you still can.
Just a few interesting items about Greece. The country has 1,200 to 6,000 islands, of which a number somewhere between 166 to 227 are uninhabited, and 13,676 kilometers of coastline with just over 11 million people, and a week and maybe 100 million euros to get a referendum out to the people, which is today. Plus a 25% unemployment rate, with more than 50% of young people without jobs. 53% of the population is between 14 and 53 years of age. It's going to be a difficult run in Greece. Our featured diamond of the week. Speak with Harold, an extremely rare, one-of-a-kind necklace set with fancy pink argyles and a 1+ carat pear-cut fancy intense green diamond. Talk with Harold about investing in this diamond at rarecoloreddiamonds.com or call 1-800-432-1022. Thank you very much, Harold Siegel, for another great show.
It's my pleasure. I wish everybody a wonderful weekend and a very, very profitable day.
Happy Canada Day and 4th of July to our listeners all over the world. That's it. Another edition of the World Financial Report on radio with Harold Siegel and me, Randy Marshall. We will talk to you next week.